You know what Nintendo's really, really good at? Making a console look really, really good and turning it around. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday. I promised yesterday that I'd talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened, of course, yesterday. Um, and I'm going to talk about mostly the parts that pertain to me. I'll be honest. There aren't a lot of stuff that I saw on the Nintendo Direct that didn't really interest me. Thus, I don't know what I'm saying. There were parts of the Nintendo Direct that didn't really interest me. Thus, I don't really remember them. In fact, there are probably moments that did interest me that I don't particularly remember. But I'll go over the ones I currently remember. Honestly, the Wii U looks really, really great right now. Simply because of all the games that Nintendo is making for it and making the console look like a must-have console. Really, they announced Twilight Princess HD, which looks great. Um, one thing about Twilight Princess HD that I don't like, honestly, is it doesn't go the way that Ocarina of Time 3D did. In that it, at least from what I saw, it didn't go the way that Ocarina of Time 3D did by reworking some of the textures and all that kind of stuff. It pretty much just sharpened up the image. With Wind Waker HD, you can tell a pretty darn good difference. Not 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 art style, but like a visual style. You can definitely tell the difference um, between Wind Waker and Wind Waker HD, beyond the fact that it's just HD. You know what I mean? Um, but from what I'm seeing of Twilight Princess, which is a good game, from what I'm seeing with Twilight Princess HD, is that they just pretty much made everything look sharper and clearer, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it isn't, but I hope they do a little bit more with it. They also re-announced, re-specified the general launch date of Zelda Wii U, which is definitely going to be in 2016. That's awesome. Um, Whether fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I look at it fortunately. The art style for Zelda Wii U doesn't seem to have changed much. Cha- hasn't seemed to have changed much since E3, when they first showed it off. So that's good in my opinion. I do really love the art style for that game. Star Fox uh, looks fantastic. Fantastic. I've talked about in the past how Star Fox Zero really looks like a Star Fox 64 2, and I fully stand behind that. But, um, wow. Wow. Seriously, wow. They're adding so much to the game, and thankfully they're not adding. It doesn't seem to be that they're adding so much to the game where you're walking around as Fox or something like that, like Star Fox Adventures or Command. Was that the other one? I think that was the DS title. What was it? What was the other one where you walked around? I don't remember. Anyway, um, which is good. I mean, people generally didn't like Star Fox Adventures. Um, Generally, there are many people who say it was a pretty good game, but I feel like the I'm not going to say an overwhelming majority, but I think it's fair to say a majority don't really think that highly of Star Fox Adventures. So um, I guess it's good that they're moving away from that. But really, the locations that they showed off in the trailer, the new shooting mechanics, the new vehicles and stuff like that, all looks really, really good, and I look forward to playing it at some point. What else did they show off for Wii U? Oh yeah, Cloud in Super Smash Bros. Wow. What's weird is the one game that Cloud was part of. I think the major game that he was part of. I think he was part of multiple games, but the major game he was part of, the one that introduced him, was Final Fantasy VII, which was never released on a Nintendo console. They probably got the rights or something like that from some of the older, not older, some of the newer Final Fantasy games like Theatrhythm, if that's even how you say it. So while a lot of people are surprised, I definitely don't think anyone really saw this coming. Um, I definitely welcome him to the roster. It's really freaking cool that we getting Cloud. I have a few friends that are really gonna love playing with him. So I think that's gonna be really cool. Um, what else? So at the end of this Nintendo Direct, um, it really convinced me that the next console I think I'm going to get is a Wii U. Honestly, it looks so good now. It's got two Mario games, a 2D and a 3D Mario games. Mario Kart. Now going on 3 Zelda games: Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, and Zelda Wii U. All 3 of those are going to be on it. um, it's Star Fox. It's ridiculous how many huge IPs they're just dumping on the Wii U right now, and it's making it look really really good as a console. Thus, I think I'm going to be getting it first. I've talked in the past how I want to get an Xbox One, and that's true. I still want to get an Xbox One, especially considering the other day I learned that you can actually stream games from the Xbox One to a PC that's on your network. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, after ranting on about that, the biggest announcement, at least in my mind, the biggest announcement for me, probably not for everyone, but for me, the biggest announcement was that they're putting red, blue, and yellow versions of Pokemon on the Nintendo Virtual Console. Ah! I'm nerding out so hard. I've been wanting them to put Pokemon games on the Virtual Console since the 3DS came out. And that was 3-4 years ago? That's ridiculous. But we're finally getting at least the first 3. I'm going to not I'm geeking out here. Not only will I be able to play Pokemon card game, which is a huge part of my childhood, but I'll also be able to play Pokemon Red and Yellow. Both immense parts of my childhood. Seriously, the 3DS is such an awesome console. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hyrule Warriors Legends. Awesome. They showed off some more of that, and they introduced a new character.